Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to this Elite Series Division 2 League of Legends cast with me, Fresh Transfers. And of course, I have a wonderful guest today with me. We will casting the whole day together. It will be wonderful. And with me on my side, it's QG. No,
Yeah, we want our nuggets.
we want them.
In our
Uh,
contract, it says we want our nuggets, and we want them.
uh,
Yeah. Hello, Frashtana. We are back again as
hello, QG.
the dual casting today.
Oh, that was
And
so wonderful.
what?
That was so wonderful. Those signs. Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So for little detail, we were promised chicken nuggets, but we haven't got them yet. So we are kinda on a strike.
Yeah.
Get our chicken nuggets.
It's really important to always keep saying that because production
They
one
always
day
forget
at
it.
least will pay us back, hopefully. Anyway, let's talk about the upcoming matches, about this whole match day and stuff. I don't know if Regie has any like fresh new pictures for us, but I think we should see the schedule for today because the schedule is really important. And there we can see that we have
yeah, now,
some.
now the
some
Regie
really...
is striking. They don't give us
Oh
anything.
no!
We're just good.
Okay, yeah, then I will just say whatever. Yeah, there's thank you, Rishi. Anyway, yeah, we have FULLCLEAR eSports against AURORA as our first match of the day. Then, of course, the Riftsloss still unbeaten yet against the Myeongmyeong gang or JMGG, how we want to call them usually, because we can't pronounce this name. Then, of course, in the second half of the schedule, we have Dynasty coming against Next. And next we have Once Upon a Team against Pertinax. So kind of like some of those matches are like middle of the pack matches. Some of them are like bottom tier matches. So definitely a really important match day to maybe separate them a little bit. Like for example, Once Upon a Team and Pertinax are on the same place right now. I don't know if we have the standings for you guys. They are sitting with 2-6, for example, in the bottom. Of course, JMGG as well. So we will see at least some movement there. And then for AURORA and Dynasty, it's really important to win today just to get back to this fourth place to maybe get into playoffs. And especially for FULLCLEAR, it's a really important day because, for at least for my opinion, they were like the big surprise team of the season. And now losing 2 games in a row just really is kind of heartbroken for me. And I couldn't even cast them. So that makes it even more sad. So hopefully they can bounce back a little bit against AURORA. And that's a match day.
Also a good matchup for AURORA too. So they can actually fight each other and then just see who is on top. Again, if it's AURORA that also won the first match against FULLCLEAR, or is it FULLCLEAR that they find back to just clearing the enemy one after one.
Yeah, and especially if we look 1 week into the future, AURORA and Dynasty will play on the upcoming Wednesday. So if they both just win the whole time from now, at least next Wednesday we will know who will get to this 4th place, for example. So it's a really important match day, like every single time. And I'm really hyped because I did not cast a single game like on my Prime League team, but I did not cast for a whole week or something. So I'm really stoked to now cast again in the Elite Series. But for you, QG, what is your like match of the week? What is the most important match of this match day? What is the game you want to see the most?
So today it's Dynasty against Next. I think that's the really important one. Dynasty is 1 win behind of Next, so if they win, they are 3rd together.
Yeah.
And that means they're at least 3rd together. And that means that these have to fight for their spot. Next has to defend it. FULLCLEAR has to defend it also against the 4th place here. And then we have Once Upon a Team against Pertinax, which probably decides who is going to be the last team. Because German Gang, Once Upon a Team, and Pertinax are on the same points, 2-6. That means also German Gang, if they beat the Slavs, if the what is it? The Nordic mythic creature can eat the Slav. Would be interesting to see, actually. And yeah, just every matchup today there's one change at least in the standings.
Yeah.
And I think we have to look at the top 4 standings. So it's FULLCLEAR, Next, and Aurora and Dynasty, where they can change up, because these are the importance for the playoffs, and also the 2 last spots are also important to not fall out into the amateur circuit again.
Yep, that's totally true. But we are in the draft already, and I think we see just the staple bands against FULLCLEAR, Hikarim, Mundo, and Kled, of course. On the other side, Gilgamesh can't play Cassante, Silax as target ban with the Chase, and then just the Crackers. And now we have Rel, which is a really, really strong champion right now. And on the other side, it's the Freyot comp. They just want to stun and slow you. So a lot of CC already for Aurora.
They aren't sisters, right? Or they are, right? They are.
I don't know.
I think
Don't hit me with lore today. Don't hit me with lore.
Well, but yeah, we have the Freljord Queen combo.
Yeah.
So Sejuani is the Queen of Tribe, and Ashe is the Queen of Freljord. And so these two play against Rel and Aphelios. Rel, who got enabled this week, today actually, for the first time in European esports. We also saw her on the LEC yesterday. No, on Monday. On Monday it was unlocked, and not on Sunday, I think. They started the whole thing on Monday. And there we also have the Victor. It came back a little bit because it's a good scaling pick. If you go Aphelios, you also want to go scaling, and you want that the enemy team rushes into you with the Aatrox and the Sejuani here. So you can damage them with your green-white combo or your red-white combo. So you can just shredder the front to back. And Rel, who just deals a lot of magic resistance and armor, it's good for both Victor and Aphelios. It's very good. Right now she can steal 15% of your armor. That's actually a lot. So even your armor pen gets more and more, it gets better. And also the Aphelios that builds lethality, it's get also enhanced by that. So I think the champ is in a pretty good spot right now. I think this is 13.12 on 13.13. It's nerfed again because she's very, very strong. And even with the even shroud, you steal even more armor and magic resistance. So she's a tank shredder as a tank. And that's just good against everybody there. It's as good against Sejuani. The Aatrox is very squishy. Then we have the Jarvan and Silas band from Aurora, and a Braum band to defend the Ashe. And also a Freljord band again.
Yes.
Aurora want to go for the Freljord power.
I think that's the most important part of this ban. Just don't give them the TFT free Freyouts buff.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
right.
Yeah, it's so important to get a prom there. So what a clutch ban. Anyway, Neo as well got banned out. So just a good scaling support pick. And now the big question is, I would assume that they just they don't want to pick support here. So actually, with this Malphite ban, they have a lot of swapperonis. Like it could be Aatrox mid, Aatrox top, Malphite top, even Sejuani top with Malphite jungle or something, or Aatrox jungle. I mean, they could still swap around a lot. Yeah, so that's actually a really surprising draft by Aurora, but in my opinion, not really the best because they saw the support matchup. So just picking support here, not like getting counterpicked now with the Gwen against like the Malphite, for example, would have been maybe a little bit better. I don't know how good the matchup of Gwen versus Aatrox is. I believe it could be like a skill matchup, just 50-50. But
what if it's
what
Malphite
if?
support?
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but do we
It
really
could
want to do
be.
that?
Some crazy picks can happen.
Yeah,
I don't think so too, but it could be.
And by the way, Aurora is probably playing with a substitute, right? Shiny QB. I know him from at least from the name, but I think he is a German player, and I think it's not Sus who was the main support by Aurora, so I believe they played with a substitute.
Picked Lulu, so it's Gwen jungle.
It's Gwen jungle. Who knows?
And Lulu top again. Lulu top? No, it's Rel jungle.
Yeah, it's Red jungle.
It's Rel jungle because she. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. And yes, Sona is enabled again. She was bugged with the Moonstone Renewer. The shield didn't fall off, so it now does again. And the Moonstone Renewer is very good on her because you have the AoE shield, and every AoE shield gives another one a shield, and so on and so on. And the item also got buffed, so it's actually pretty decent. I think because of the nerf of the Chalice, it's better than the Chalice. So that's gonna be interesting. Also with the Ash to buff her up and give her a bit of movement speed. Very good. And they in FULLCLEAR don't have that much of hard engage. They only have Rel.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at Aurora. They have four engages. Aatrox can kinda engage. You have the Sejuani, you have the Malphite, you have the Ash Arrow, you have the Sona. So they almost have 5 engages in their hands. And yeah, and FULLCLEAR is just to you can just back off. But you have to kite back a bit, and that's oh, yeah, we are playing on 13.13. We skipped the patch. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that could be a huge problem to not have that much engage, right? So basically, if you don't have engage, if you fall behind, you can't force. You can't like really like punish someone. At the moment, FULLCLEAR has a lot of late game assurance, Aphelios, Lulu, Victor, and of course the Gwen side lane matchup. So that's a lot of scaling, that's a lot of late game. But the question is, do you get into this late game? Can Rel jungle really be the pick to like carry you into the later stages of the game? And on the other side, Ash, Sona at least scales well enough, and like Aatrox is kind of like my wild card pick here in this draft, because Aatrox mid lane can actually trade really well with some of those mages, just because his Q range is kind of like the auto attack range of most mages. So every time they try to auto attack poke you, you can just hit them with Q, and you are pretty mobile, and you just knock them up and kind of one shot them. So that can definitely work. Depends if they really can play against like Rare's Victor, because he is like a Victor main, so he is pretty good on this champion, and that could be a rough matchup for the Aatrox.
The problem I see with the Aatrox is, how does he want to get on someone? It's Victor who can kite back easily, it's Aphelios with a Lulu who can kite back easily, and it's a Gwen where you can be she can just shroud herself and dash every 3 seconds. So it's hard to actually get the knock up on the Gwen. So who are you going to hit if you're not in their face? So if you have to go as a second, and with the Sejuani and the Malphite you have to follow them up, because if you go first, you shouldn't do that because you have like these 2 engaged champions. But if you are in a side lane and you're getting picked, you can't kill anybody because they just outrange you and kite you. So if you don't have flash, you can't kill anybody, in my opinion. You have to hit a very good chain, you have to hit a very good Q, and then the E and the flash have to be used to actually kill someone, because they have so much range and they can kite back so easily on these comms. And also the Victor with the Lulu, with the speed up and the little bit of attack speed, it's very hard. Victor gets some levels, he gets the slow on the from the W. Maybe he skips the Q enchantment for the W enchantment to kite better. It could be an option. We normally take it, the E upgrade into the Q upgrade into the W, but maybe you switch it up to kite back the Aatrox and get more out of these traits.
Yeah. I think one important factor is that they have so much engaged that Aatrox can always try to follow up, because if Sejuani or Ashe or Malphite just hit someone, then Aatrox doesn't need to like be the main engage, right? So with that much CC on his side, he can maybe just always follow up on the main engage and be like a really big threat in the backline. One big factor in this game as well is the Quen, because like I called it the Pertinax factor, where like Pertinax didn't want to use Electro's checks on the sideline, right? So if you have a sideliner in a winning matchup, just keep him there, just try to get turrets, just try to get the base, because Malphite essentially is harmless. I mean, if Quen sits under the turret and just pushes the turret, Malphite just sits there and thinks about his life and why you picked Malphite, right? So basically, they can win via the split push, and Full Clear definitely needs to play it really carefully. They have a lot of scaling and they have a lot of wave clear with Victor, so they can just sit back, try to kite out, like you said, just try to disengage with Rel, with the Victor W and with Polymorph and stuff. Just try to keep them at range, and meanwhile Quen hopefully wins the sideline. So that would be one game plan for Full Clear at least. But that's it. We're in game. We have Full Clear against Aurora. It's the first match of this day. It's our first match of this Wednesday. And with me, it's QG. Just really quick before we have any action. Who won the draft?
Aurora.
Perfect. And
are you on the same point?
Yeah, I really like the engage. Like, I mean, you are
Go buttons, right?
Yeah, you are the go button dude. So it's just who has more go buttons wins the game usually, and at least from your perspective. And yeah, they have definitely more go buttons. So every single ultimate's kind of like a go button. So that could be one way to play it. But let's see. We have no really early game shenanigans. Player just try to be safe. So we have probably not like the fastest early game, especially like Sejuani. I mean, she has two melee champions on the side, on mid and top, so she can try to go for a gank. And Red as well, so they are not ultimate independent, but still I don't believe that we see too much, at least in the early game.
Yeah, and you see the focus is on bot side, because they both spent their time on top with red and blue buff. I think Sejuani will be faster because of the red, but here we have some little traits, and with Ashe that has more range, she will probably win these. And Skyona, who nice Q, hit both.
Luna's just a nuisance. He just tries to poke with Qs with auto attacks. She's really strong, especially like if you compare the auto attacks of Sona and of Lulu. Lulu has her passive, so kind of deals more damage, and with that, every single auto attack trait is worth for Lulu. And of course, her Q just lands on both probably, while Sona, if she is not in range for her Q, then nobody gets poked, right? So they kind of win the bow. They try to engage with a flash, but Grammy, I don't know. They did think that they had more damage, but in the end they haven't. So it was a good try by Grammy, but they did not get the payout.
Yeah, and it's also good. The top side is really good to gank. You can't gank the Ashe. They don't have CC. They have slows and stuff. Or maybe some.
Killer Mesh, that he tries, he has the auto attack power, but he needs to flash out because if he did not flash out, there came probably the snap again, so that was a close try by him. They traded summoners, but sadly the flash has a longer cooldown. Now they try to run down bot lane with Silax and with Tremmy, but a lot of damage from Nomad, and now the question is, oh, double flash! They try to get to him, but in the end they don't have the stun yet, and now Silax is a little bit too deep because they as well, and nobody dies in the end. But it was still a good try by both of those teams.
Yeah, with these synchronized flashes, so that looked actually nice. Yeah, you synchronize your flash. The focus wasn't on top of that, so yeah, Aurora just get flashes and probably not the dragon is not there. FULLCLEAR will lose a cannon minion probably here, and this is one cannon is not that bad, but they are almost even in farm, so we have these things going on. And yeah, that was almost for the first blood, and what do we have? Knots, and but yeah, the gank was pretty nice. Zylax roamed from mid to bot to actually get something, and I guess this is still even. There's a bit of better farms, but it's early game. Who cares about 500 gold? It's not an item. He's getting hit.
I think a big point of this play is that they got the double flash, the exhaust, the heal, so almost all summoner spells. Now they try to gank this Victor again, but Victor's kinda tanky at least at the moment. There's the roam from Rel, but they don't have the damage to kill Silax there. Now he tries again, but needs to flash out, and in the end, because of the support roam of Sona, they kinda survive in the end, and with that, they just get out of there.
Oh, the hits, the trades, the everything here. Yeah, and here Luntier is not being doved. And Shiny's back. Now they're trading.
But nothing really happens. And now the big question becomes who can secure the first dragon, who has prior for that, who wants to play for that, because it could be an important one, just because the sustain of the Ocean Drake, of course, helps the laners, especially like top laners. There's great value from all those seals, so
yeah, you
want an important one.
You want the Ocean Dragon on the beach for your nice and beach sessions. And this is good. And then we have a fight here on bot side. Flash.
Yeah, they try to get onto Nomad, but in the end, they don't have the damage yet. But that's the big scary moment for Ash. They can always just run down those non-mobile carries, but as well she can go for the stun, but can they get the follow-up on it? Oh, she misses the stun, and with that, no chance for her team to get onto them. But still was a good try by Glover.
And then we see Lost Lunio again with the trading. Gilgamesh already bought the Mercury threats.
Maybe with the 1v1. Oh, good chains, but in the end he can't really get to it. And there's Galop with the stun, with the whatever it's called. They can get at least this kill on Victor, and he has a lot of sustain, and with the sustain he kinda survives, he kinda gets the double kill Silax with the outplay, but in the end Nomad at least gets one back onto bot lane, and with the shields of Lulu, but what a snipe by Shiny! He waits for the shield to get back, and then he just snipes them with the Q, and No, Lunio was in mid lane, still has the needlework, but don't want to go for something. He just gets the wave instead. And with that, nobody dies. But what a double kill by Silax.
Yeah, that's interesting too. The fight was almost good for full clear here, but the healing of the Aatrox and the damage that he had, you can't kill him with a rel that doesn't have damage. And also you have the fight on bot side where full clear got ahead and Shiny QB just waited for the sheet to go off and then just hit the Q and auto attack and then Nomad is dead.
And Sona can be so strong. Like, I mean, she has only one damage spell, but still, sometimes it feels like she has so much damage. And I mean, in the end, it was not enough to carry the Ashe in this fight, but at least to revenge her in the 1v1. Oh, a little face check there onto this Aatrox. Aatrox has a lot of damage, and with that, they get at least one kill. But there is the Quen, and Quen has the needlework, so a lot of damage coming back. In bot lane, it almost got doped, but in the end, nobody dies. So it's just one kill for. 1-for-1 actually, Kremi and Gallop both died.
Yeah, what is this? We have a fight happening in the jungle and then bot lane goes off full hard mode. Yeah, ults were traded. Shiny QB is not 6th yet, so Last Lunia is probably going to... Yeah, very nice trade from the needlework, from the Gwen here with the scissors. And I thought Rocks beat Scissors, but I think it's different.
Next gank in the mid, just getting a flash. I mean, when we saw like the first 1v1 on top lane, it was almost beating Rock against Scissors, but then he needed to flash out in the end. So he did not get solo bolo, but at the end he is down like 30 CS, which is really a lot for top lane. Then Relish some CS ahead. So at the moment, full clear really on most lanes having like a big lead on CS. And I mean, if we just compare kills, so we have at least 600 plus some assist gold more on Aurora's side. But because of all those farm leads, full clear actually is ahead in gold, and now they even get this first dragon of the game. So they play really good. Oh, there was the gravity field, but in the end, it's not stunning Kremi, and teleport count came out, and there is Gwen.
Yeah, and we see preparation for the Rift Herald coming. Bot lane is backing, so they are not there, but Gwen and Gwen and Victor back too, so this is good. Oh, Aatrox Alex takes the Rift Herald. He's probably going to roam a bit here.
Yeah, he tries to steal a jungle camp, but in the end he kinda gets run down by Gwen by the needlework, and there comes the needle. There's the shutdown, really well played there by Lunio, but there comes 3 people and the cavalry, and now they try to kill Gwen, and Gwen is not too tanky. Maybe with the ghost she can run out. There comes the dash. Oh no, she's it's so close on the gravity field. She survives in the end. Not Shiny QB with the second auto attack kill of this game. Wonderfully played by the new support from Aurora, just getting 1 kill back in return for Silax.
Yeah, and you see the power of the Sona coming back in with the flash Q auto attack. Can't escape those if you're once in range. And now Zylax is on bot side, so Shiny QB is off. That's yeah.
He gets ulted and now probably snap. But now they run into 4 people. It's Silax. He's kinda tanky, but not tanky enough, so he dies, and in the end, maybe they want to go in, but Gilgamesh has no ultimate. So no more engage ultimates actually on the side of Aurora, so nobody gets killed, nobody dies, just Sylax again against 4 people is dying.
Yeah, and this looks good for Aurora. Gilgamesh kind of wasted the teleport here. Gwen got ahead, they got a kill. Yep.
Oh,
Now
Crystal
it
Arrow, they
lands.
try to get on Norman, but there comes a good Metallic Storm, and in the end they get at least 1 kill. Can they even tower dive the next one? Nomad tries to dive
Nomad's
it,
Q.
Aurage. Oh, this Q, and in the end it's enough. Lulu gets revenge, and that's just 2 more kills for full clear.
Yeah, and if Aurora with the engage waited for 5 more seconds, then the Sona ult would be up, and the fight would look definitely it would go in the other direction of Aurora, and this was just hard for Aurora to take it. They could have waited a bit more and then just get them both. So this is nice for FULLCLEAR to actually have these plays go out their way, and then we have Zylax engaging again on me here.
What a lot of damage there, but it's not enough for the one shot yet, but that was what I was talking about in Gem Select. Just against mages, if you hit 1 Q, you basically one shot them, so it's really painful to play for. The Victor here is still ahead in CS, and if you just look at total gold, we have 4k gold actually for FULLCLEAR, so that's so much. But still, like there's some resistance at least coming from Sylax. The Moonlight Ritual is not landing, so nobody dies, but still a good try by Nomad.
Yeah, and the flamethrower, if you hit the wards, you can actually poke somebody. Yeah, and Nuntir. The Kraken is done for Nomad. The Gale Force is coming after. Nuntir is going for the Kraken Slayer too. It's the highest DPS.
Sylax tries to go in with the World Ender. He has a lot of damage. There comes the knockback, there comes the triple Q, and he flashes over the gravity field. So in the end, he gets the solo bowler, but for what cost? He just dies to Lunio. So it's actually kill and assist gold for just a kill. And for a lot of summoner spells, Crystal Arrow stunned Lulu, and they have a lot of engage to kill. This little pixie there, and now maybe Gilgamesh in trouble because Lunio is there. He has a lot of damage to scissors. They really hurt, and in the end they even get a double kill for Nomad. Can they maybe even get more? But no, they just get kited. We will have outplayed other Ashe player, but oh no, oh, they try to flash into there with the stun, with the root. They have enough damage. Nomad with the next one together with his top laner, and now Shiny QZ even dying as well. So what a team fight by FULLCLEAR, just getting so much, and even the trick and the turret.
Yeah, it was a very scrappy fight in my opinion. It was hard to focus on, and also Aurora couldn't really play up their potential. They picked out one, Zylax died too, Mihir came with the TP, and I think they used too much. They used 3 ults on Lulu, and then you don't have enough CC for the Aphelios or the Gwen, and then they just snip or gun you down, and then you just lose the fight. There's no more CC. You can just kite back, and yeah, then you lose the fight. So putting everything into Lulu was maybe not that great for Aurora, and therefore FULLCLEAR came out ahead of these plays. And we have Zylax again.
He always tries to go for this 1v1, but there's Lunio, so it's not a 1v1 anymore. World Ender got used to maybe chase him down, but Lunio just gets one. And Aurora maybe going for a cross-map play against Nomad. Oh, Nomad, he could be in trouble. He gets ulted, tried to flash, but this does not come out. Oh, a lot of Lulu shift, and Lulu even blocking the bowler, but in the end it's not enough. Both die. Double kill for Gilgamesh. Well played, Aurora, for this cross-map play.
Yeah, they get the shutdown on the tank. It's probably not that good, but at least Luntier got the assists. And full clear, they do a cross map play with a Crumb steal here. They got the bot tower with first Lunio, last Lunio to just get it down. Then you have the Rift Turrets taken down by Aurora. They have again a pushing potential for another tower.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I meant in Gem Select. You have the Quen, just play around her, just get those turrets, and it's really effective right now. Like, Lunio gets a lot of resources, has 5 kills, has a lot of farm, so he's actually probably unkillable in the 1v1 right now, maybe even in the 2v1. With some good needlework, he can probably duel everybody. So that could be a big focal point for Aurora. Oh no, he even tries to teleport out because he saw so many people in the bot side jungle. So he just uses teleport to be safe. And now they need to maybe try to engage. That's a good Magnet Storm. Oh, can they get Kremi is the question, but now Kremi is really tanky, so nobody dies. But now they just try to keep up this siege, and Quen could siege for the bot lane turret, but she rather recalls. Now Herald gets spawned. This play is probably not over.
No, and you see that the build of Gallop is only to defend the Nomad. So they play full kite and disengage comp here for against the engage comp. Gallop who gets tanky from the enemies. So if you're tanky, you're just going to steal everything.
Yeah, and right now, like FULLCLEAR, because they are ahead, their engage isn't really like a big problem, because they can still go for those engages just with Well, because she's tanky enough, and they always can just play around Quen. So at the moment, this team comp actually works out for them, and Aurora, with a lot of ultimates, can't really find a good angle, can't really find a good catch. Usually just use the ult for one person, like we saw on the catch on Skyonage, or with the catch on Nomad, where they just use everything on one person. And if they do that in one team fight, then it could be like a big mistake, because then they have no fuel left in the tank to kill the others. Oh no, the Victor gets dove there on the top lane. He still has this movement, but in the end, Sulax gets the kill, so really well played. But now he needs to run away from the Gallop, but can't get away. Nomad with his 6th kill.
Yeah, and Nomad who is getting fat, that's the whole thing of the comp. The Victor is kind of behind on everything, but Gwen is ahead, so these two carries from the top and the bot side are it for FULLCLEAR actually right now, so this is going to be good. We have Aphelios getting double buff with Gallop. And actually it's kind of funny that Gallop is playing Rel, because he's galloping around.
Yeah, now they just take down the first trick. So FULLCLEAR at the moment with a lot of control over this game, just getting all the objectives they need. Now they are at Soul Point, can try to play around Baron, and maybe even send Lunio to the bot side. So I don't know why they want to group with Lunio not having any mana left. He needs to go for the base. But now there could be the big engage. Oh, they try to get something, but Lunio and Gallop, they are rather tanky at the moment. Now there comes the teleport from Victor, so they have a lot of damage. Now with Nomad and with Namera, and in the end it's a double kill for Nomad, it's a triple kill for Nomad. So there was just no damage to kill the front line, and with that could be the Baron now for FULLCLEAR.
How is the Rel not dying? Did she steal so much armor and magic resist from the Jack show right there? and then Nomad who
He
just
in,
goes
and he
off
maybe
here.
gets one, he maybe just gets one if he gets his auto attack in, it should be enough. So at least the one kill for Nomad, but to get both flashes out of the bot lane, no the Baron, and with that it should be smooth sailing for full clear.
Yeah, wow, like Gallop tanked 5 people with the armor and magic resist of Grammy and Gilgamesh right there. Got shielded and survived everything, and then Nomad who just got left alone. And if you leave the Aphelios alone, he will just kill your enemies, and that's what happened. Wow. I really thought the Aurora teamfight comp is better, but the macro and everything from FULLCLEAR and also Gallop, who is just going off Rifty Rel here. I think it's really hard for Aurora to do anything, because they throw out their CC, but they are missing a bit of damage to kill Gallop, who blocks everything. And
try to kill Victor, and they have just too much damage. But on the top side with the needlework, there could be the Bolo as well. Still has the third needlework up, so he could try to go for something, but they just trade one kill for a turret, which is rather worth. And now maybe even get the tier 2 top lane turret as well. Because we need to understand that Gilgamesh and Kremi both used ultimates for the bot lane catch, so they don't have any engage left to really punish and protect those turrets.
Yeah, I think FULLCLEAR plays the comp perfectly. That's the whole point of this game, that the draft that they did is just played really good. And the Gallop is engaging and disengaging properly, tanking everything, so he's the main frontline for everything they do. And that's just what you want. If you block everything, how do you want to kill somebody?
Huh?
And even with the Knight's Vow, the Nomad is healing you, you are eating damage for Nomad, and with the Lulu and the shields, this is hard for Aurora to kill somebody.
Yeah, 100%. And now they even try to play the 1-3-1 with those two solo laners on the side lanes, and then just try to roam into your Victor just to keep him safe. And in the meantime, nobody at the moment is with the Gwen. Now they try to get with the Mechanic Storm into them. It's a lot of damage coming out from Victor, but he needs to flash out. There comes the teleport from Gilgamesh and from Ludio, so they try to fight this 1 for 5v5, and then just a double kill for Nomad. And with that, they can basically just run them down, just take those inhibitors, and maybe even finish, because they are just too far ahead.
How can Gallop do this? If I look at his items, he's not that tanky, but if I look at his actions, he just go in 4v1 and then the other just follow up and he tanks everything, and he's now half-life again. How is this even possible? And he just, I think he carried the game. Nomad did a lot of damage, but Gallop here, who just crushed with the rel pick everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a game.
I was doubting the pick and ban phase here, but I think FULLCLEAR said no. QG, you are wrong. The Aurora picks are not that good. We are better, and they just showed it.
Yeah. And I believe we will have an interview with Gallop himself. So we might talk about the rel in just a few seconds. Hello, Gallop.
Hi.
Hello.
What a victory.
Yeah, it was nice winning a game finally.
Yeah, tell us about the rel. Is she like the flex pick? Is she just like did you train her all the time, or was it just like a surprise from you guys and you wanted to try it out?
Well, so what has been working for us is when we are surprising the other team, and people kind of knew how to, like they knew we were gonna play Mundo or Hecarim, so we wanted to try something entirely different. Our AD carry Nomad, he plays Samira, so we were actually hoping to get Rel Samira bot lane, but we just didn't have an opportunity for it, and they had a better lane, so we took Rel jungle.
Okay, so she is still a flex pick for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also very interesting for a pick phase. You can pick whatever you want and then you just switch it up how you like. And well, also with the kind of nurse she got, she's still very strong. You see, you were tanking 5 people and they couldn't kill you. That's just, I don't know how that is. It sounds illegal, but it works out.
It was very fun to play.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
And just from my perspective, like FULLCLEAR esports, you guys, when the split started, kind of surprised everybody. Like, did you expect to like be second place in the group? Did you expect to like crush all of those teams right now, or did you guys rather thought, okay, let's do it, let's do it just with fun? And I don't know. So how surprised are you guys by your success right now?
I mean, there was a bit of a nerve from me coming into the split, but we have played together for 4 months, so we are very confident in each other. We know what we can do. So after playing like the first week, we knew that okay, we have what it takes to play in here, and if we prepare for the teams, we can win versus them.
Sounds really good.
And it looks like you are actually the macro play is very good from the whole team. You can see that in these games. You're getting caught, Nomad is getting doved 4v1, and you just see that Los Lunio is just taking bot tower, and these macro plays, they have to be actually trained. You don't do that from heart, so just the cross map plays are very beautiful, and I think that's you guys are doing a really good job what cross playing is, and you see it, and it's actually very good to see. And I don't think anybody except for Rift could play against it, and then you see these teams are struggling, and yeah, I think it's really hard to actually.
I think it's going to be interesting when we play Rift again. I'm not going to come up with stupid excuses, but last week we didn't have internet on Nomad, so we were forced to play really differently than what we used to, and we tried to. I was going for the Sensar with the Hullbreaker, but it didn't work. Of course, Rift were really good and punished us, so it was unfortunate. But we are definitely looking forward to the next games versus them.
Yeah, and just as one last question, your upcoming game is against JMTG. Any quick prediction from you guys? You will, of course, you will say you guys win, but what is your opinion about JMTG, or what can we expect?
I think they have been looking better than what they did in the start. It's not that we're thinking, oh, we need to do this to win. We need to be very desperate and try to go for stuff. I think if we just stick to our game, we're gonna win. We're gonna win maybe even before 25 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Gallop, and hopefully we see you soon on the next interview, maybe.
It was a pleasure. See you on Friday.
All right.
See you on Friday.